I've noticed that most of the battles I have that I find to be a lot of fun and to be really good are battles that are pretty long, which I do apologize just because I don't really like making long videos, and I know not everybody enjoys watching like 10+ minute videos, but this was actually a really good NU battle that I had against TheFlawlessWin. For those of you who don't know who TheFlawlessWin is, I believe he does upload narrated Wi-Fi battles, so I'll leave his channel link down in the description if you guys want to go check him out, and if you enjoy his content, then feel free to subscribe to him. But looking at my opponent's side of the field, he seems to be running a team based around hazards with Cacturn and Regirock, and he actually has a Mischievous. Now, Mischievous is actually one of the best spin blockers in NU in my opinion, and I do have a War Turtle. Unfortunately though, I do not have Foresight on that, which means if he gets up all these hazards on me, then I could potentially get destroyed. So I'm hopefully going to try to prevent that. But seeing that he didn't have a Rapid Spinner of his own, I decided to lead off with my Wormadam. As he led off with the Mischievous, he goes straight for the taunt, which I did not realize Mischievous could even run taunt, but I guess because he does have Grumpig, which more likely has Heal Bell, that gives him a free slot open on the Mischievous, so I really should have just switched into my Electros originally instead of switching into it after the Will-O-Wisp. And I thought that the Volt Switch or the Thunderbolt was way too obvious, which is why I actually go for the Flamethrower. Now, I am modest specs, and that Flamethrower does not as much as I hoped it would, as this turn he makes a very good play, knowing that I would want to switch out. He's going to predict that and go for the Will-O-Wisp, burning my Scolipede, but this really isn't too big a video, considering that now I can get up a layer of Tox Spikes, and thanks to the fact that he doesn't have a Rapid Spinner or a Poison type on his team, my Tox Spikes are going to be here to stay. So expecting him to go for his own Stealth Rocks, or maybe even the Stone Edge, I decided to switch directly into my Lickilicky as I take the Stone Edge like a monster. Now, this Lickilicky doesn't run as many defensive E's as the standard Lickilicky. I believe I only have about 56 defensive E's, just because I want to be able to take special hits a lot better than I normally would. So I'm going to go for the Heal Bell to get rid of the burn off of my Electros and my Scolipede, because I know Scolipede is definitely going to be an important member in this battle, because honestly the only thing on my team to take a close combat from Primeape is my Scolipede, which means I need to keep that thing around for this battle. So he's going to bring in the Cacturn on my Wish. Now, I know that he more than likely is going to set up hazards, but I thought that I would be able to bring in my my Wormadam and get on my rocks, then be able to Gyro Ball this thing and possibly one-shot it, when in hindsight what I should have done was either brought in my Scolipede or left in my Lickilicky to Dragon Tail instead of bringing in my Wormadam like an idiot, because now he is basically going to get up all 3 layers of spikes, and he also has his Stealth Rocks up, which means the one thing I was trying to prevent him from doing, he successfully has done, which means I could at this point just get destroyed and lose the battle, in all honesty. So he's going to bring in the Mischievous, takes the Gyro Ball relatively well, and I know that because he's running low on HP that he more than likely is going to want to go for the Pain Split, so what I'm going to do is actually go for the Toxic, not really worrying about the taunt, because as you saw there, he did go for the Pain Split. As this turn, I know that he more than likely is going to go for the Will-O-Wisp, so what I'm going to do is bring in my War Turtle, and maybe there was a chance he could switch out, and that way I would be able to get more damage on the Mischievous with Rocks and the Toxic. But he does stay in, and he does go for the safe Will-O-Wisp. Now this turn is possibly the most crucial part of this battle. So because I know that he's not going to be expecting me to go for a Rapid Spin on a Ghost type and more than likely want to switch out, what I'm going to do is actually predict him to switch out and go for the Rapid Spin. Now he does still have the Cacturn, and me and both him actually thought that Cacturn would die off to the rocks, so as soon as he brought in Cacturn, I was thinking, crap, he's going to die off the rocks and I'm going to get destroyed. But no, he barely survives on 1%, and I'm able to get the Rapid Spin off, which means I have spun away all 3 layers of his spikes, and I just got rid of his Cacturn, which is his Spiker, which means momentum of this battle has been shifted into my favor, and now I possibly have a chance to actually win this battle. Unfortunately though, I still need to keep Scolipede around for that Primeape, and I need to find a way to get rid of that annoying ass Mischievous. So he's going to bring in the Substriker, and I know that the Thunderbolt or Volt Switch is way too obvious, so what I'm going to do is actually switch into my Wormadam. Unfortunately though, he gets a crit with the Volt Switch, which in the long run of the battle, it wasn't game changing, but it was a bit annoying, just because now if I want to be able to take another Thunderbolt or Volt Switch from Substriker, I need to pass off a Wish to my Wormadam. But he Volt Switches into his Regirock, and obviously because of the way he brought it in, I know that he more than likely is just going to want to get up his Stealth Rocks, which, yes, I could have switched into my War Turtle, but I am saving my War Turtle for one specific moment to be able to take out the Mischievous, and that happens later on in the battle. So as he does get up his rocks, I go for the Gyro Ball, and even though Gyro Ball is stab super effective, Regirock is really slow, and Wormadam doesn't have the best attack around. So expecting him to go for a Stone Edge, or maybe even a Drain Punch, I decided to switch directly into my Lickilicky as he does go for the Stone Edge. Thankfully though, he does not get a crit, which is really great because now, next turn, I know that he more than likely is not going to want to risk missing the Stone Edge and more than likely go for an Earthquake or a Drain Punch, whichever one he wants to go for. And this allows me to go for a Free Wish as he does go for the Drain Punch. Drain Punch. Wow, what am I talking about? Anyways, he goes for the Drain Punch. Luckily, he does not crit me, although he does get a good amount of HP back for my Lickilicky, just because Lickilicky does have a shitload of HP, as you see there. And this turn, I know that the Protect and the fact that he's going to want to switch out is so painfully obvious that I really wanted to go for the Dragon Tail, but I couldn't. Because if he had actually stayed in with Regirock and taken out my Lickilicky, then I would have still lost his battle, even though I was able to get off that crucial Rapid Spin. Because I know that Lickilicky is definitely going to be an important part in this battle. So he brings in his Primeape. I'm going to go straight for the Protect. Scouted to see what he wants to lock himself into. And this switch into Scolipede was actually kind of risky because if he was Life Orb or Expert Belted, he could have easily gone for the Stone Edge, smashed my Scolipede in the face, and just destroyed me with Primeape. Thankfully though, he more than likely issues the regular Scarf set because I didn't see any leftovers, and I didn't see any Life Orb, and if he was Expert Belted, then he should have gone for the Stone Edge, which means Primeape, so long as I still keep Scolipede around, Primeape will probably not be as big of a problem as it can be, if you get what I'm trying to say. But I get up Belair Spikes as he brings in the Step Striker, and I'm going to reveal to him that I actually have the Protect, which Protect with Toxic or Toxic Spikes is actually really handy on Scolipede. And not to mention, I'm able to scout it to see what my opponent wants to do. As this turn, I know that he might just go for a Volt Switch or an Overheat or even a Thunderbolt. So I'm going to switch into my Wormadam, basically as Death Fodder. And this is where him critting me earlier might have mattered, just because I possibly could have been able to take a Thunderbolt, then Protect to wear him down with Toxic. Then if I did get a double Protect, I could have knocked out the Zep Striker, then kept my Wormadam for fodder later on in the battle. But in the long run, it really isn't too game-changing, so I really wasn't too bothered about that. As he switches out to the Regirock, I guess he's going to want to save his Step Striker for Death Fodder. I am going to go for the Wish, and I know that Regirock really cannot do anything to me, so what I'm going to do is actually just go for the Dragon Tail. That way I can phase him out and be able to get more hazard damage on whatever I bring in. Unfortunately though, he crits me with the Stone Edge. Luckily though, I live on 4 HP and I get my own crit with the Dragon Tail as I Dragon Tail him out into the Step Striker, which I wish I had Dragon Tailed him out to the Mischievous. That way I could have switched into my War Turtle as he taunted or went for the Pain Split, but in the end it isn't too big of a deal because I did get rid of Step Striker, which means he has no switch in fodder, which is going to be good for me. So he's going to bring in the Grumpig, and I completely facepalmed right here because I know that Grumpig learns Taunt. I know that Grumpig likes to run Taunt. Yet I stay in and I stupidly go for the Wish, when in all honesty I should have just gone for the Dragon Tail. That was really stupid of me, because now he's basically able to get a free Heal Bell off as I am going to go for the Dragon Tail, which means his Mischievous is no longer poison, which means it has become a problem once more. So I actually Dragon Tail him out to the Mischievous, and I know that he is not going to go for the Taunt, he's not going to go for the Will-O-Wisp, he more than likely is going to go for the Pain Split. So predicting that, I'm actually going to bring in my War Turtle, and thanks to the HP that he actually gave me, I'm going to be able to just barely survive this Shadow Ball, get off a Torrent boosted Stab Scald, and do a pretty good amount of damage to this Mischievous. And I was really hoping I would get the burn, but in the end, the fact that I didn't get the burn wasn't too crucial or game-changing at all. So what I'm going to do is just bring in my Primeape, go straight for the Ice Punch, because this Primeape is actually Choice Banded as opposed to being Choice Scarf, just because I wanted to try it out. Now yes, Sock is a better fighting type Choice Banded Pokemon, but I just really wanted to use Choice Banded Primeape. So he's going to bring in the Grumpig, obviously because I'm locked into Ice Punch, I can't do anything to him, but at this point in the battle, I don't actually really need my Primeape, just because with his Mischievous gone, I have almost kind of secured the victory in my favor, but that Primeape could still actually be a problem, so I really have to watch out for that. So he's going to take me out with the Scald as Psychic, sorry, as I bring in my Lickilicky. I should have brought in Electros and gone for the Volt Switch, because now that I brought in Lickilicky and now that I went for the Protect, once he loses his Primeape, once he loses his Grumpig, he can bring in Primeape, and if he predicts correctly, then he can either take out my Licky or he can take out my Scolipede. But I know because he more than likely is going to want to go for the close combat, considering that all the hazard damage is really racking up on him. I'm going to make a risky switch into my Scolipede, as thankfully he does go for the close combat. And I do 4 times resist that, which means I can stay in here and take about 3 or 4 more. And knowing that he more than likely might not switch out, I'm actually going to get up a layer of spikes, because if he had switched into Regirock, I believe after a protect he would have died off to the toxic from toxic spikes. So the fact that I'm able to get up this second layer of spikes means that once Regirock switches in, it will die off to the hazards, allowing me to win. So he's going to go for the close combat, and I didn't protect because I knew I would be able to take the close combat, then knock him out with the Mega Horn. But he crits me and then I miss, which means this turn I am going to be forced to go for the protect, and that's going to be the 3-0 victory in my favor. And man, this battle was really intense when I was having it. Like, the fact that I was able to get off that rapid spin with War Turtle earlier on in the battle was honestly game changing. That was the only chance I had to win. Thankfully, he miscalculated with the Cacturn's HP and lived the rocks, and I was able to spin away the hazards and pull out a victory. So I really hope you guys enjoyed this really awesome minion battle. Make sure to go check out my opponent. His channel link is down in the description. If you did enjoy this battle, make sure to leave a like, leave a comment, subscribe to see more content, and I really hope you enjoy the rest of your night and enjoy the rest of your day.